The truth is, with the video that I saw not too long ago, yes, we might have created this kid in whatever form, or they are your kid, but our role as the parent is not to be creating the kid. Our role as the parent is to be the shepherd. The shepherd's job is to guide the sheep where it needs to be going, where the safest space are, where the best food are. The shepherd's job is not to be creating the sheep. And I think because we had the role in the beginning of either birthing that child, taking care of it, absolute infancy, we forget that at a certain point, our job is only to guide. It is not to kind of push them in becoming a doctor or becoming what we think they should be.
Right.
And then the second thing that I wanted to kind of also respond to was perspective. I believe is the most incredible tool that is completely undervalued from both sides. I think from the young adults side perspective of knowing a little bit more about their parents and where they are coming from, I think that is so important because sometimes the young adults can react really heavily. Obviously, we know they haven't fully developed, so they are reacting from their perspective. My parents don't know anything, they're old school, they're just boring. But perspective from that young adult's child, from that young adult's viewpoint, is to get perspective for their parents. And in your case, it was when you were that boy, you might have dealt differently with that situation when you had the perspective of my dad had to offer a lot of things to get to that point. And he actually just wants to give to me the best that he has. And I'm not saying that you should accept that, but that perspective would have brought on a different conversation of, geez, thank you, Dad. I really appreciate everything that you did, everything that you sacrificed in your young life to be able to achieve all of that. Unfortunately, I don't think this is the way for me to go, but I still
Right.
really value everything that you did to get to this point. So that conversation changes it completely. The parent actually feels valued and feels seen for the things that they have done or achieved to get to that point. And then the same with perspective on the other side. We as parents can already see the mistakes that our kids are going to make. So we try to avoid those things. We've helped them to learn how to walk and we had to stop them from running off of cliffs. Our job was to see the dangers and to prevent
Right.
them from doing that. But now we need to now know that our perspective of growing up, maybe without cell phones or without social media, is completely different to the world that they are growing up in.
Right.
And we might not see, we might look at a career as an influencer and think, well, that's stupid. You're not going to make a success out of that. But that young kid sees, young adult sees all of his friends or people on the internet making really good money while doing that. So their perspective is, I can have what you are having and work less time. I can have what that guy is having and do it on my own terms. And that's a good thing and a bad thing because I know social media is kind of a double-edged sword because it can show you the good, but it can also show you only the highlight reels and leave out the parts that's not
The struggles.
realistic
Right.
and that people don't see. They don't see necessarily all the struggles that the influencers had to go through to actually get to that point of success. So I think there's a big conversation in perspective and helping both sides to understand each other's perspective better, because that's where the learning will happen on both sides.
One of the things that I tried to do with my kids as they were growing up, so I tried to learn how to be honest and transparent with them. And I had to, within reason, I had to go, hey, look, so you did this.